In the center of a tumultuous divorce battle between two affluent parents, the ultimate decision came from an unexpected source, a 6-year-old girl named Gracie. With neither her mother nor her father able to secure custody, it was a surprising twist in a narrative fraught with conflict and tension. No child should bear witness to their parents' constant arguments, yet it's a situation that regrettably occurs more often than anyone would like to admit. For Gracie, the ceaseless shouting between her mother and father had become an unwelcome backdrop to her life. Returning home at the end of each day or on weekends was something she dreaded, and this feeling only intensified when her parents finally gave up on their marriage. The declaration had been a shouting match, echoing through the large house they called home. "I want a divorce," Charlotte had yelled, to which Noah responded with an equally resolute, "Me too." Gracie had learned about the word divorce at school, thanks to her friends who had parents in a similar situation. However, she didn't fully comprehend the ramifications, which only added to her anxiety. The sudden slam of the front door and the swift departure of her father's car marked the end of one chapter in their lives. It was a troubling reality that Gracie had to deal with, her parents' animosity toward each other. Her mother openly despised the man she saw with her father on some occasions, and her father was no more lenient when it came to his opinions about Charlotte. In this toxic environment, they both approached Gracie with one demand, that she be their informant. "You can tell me if your father is ever bad, Gracie. We'll use it against him in court. You are staying with me, all right," Charlotte would insist before handing Gracie over to her father. Later, Noah would reciprocate, urging Gracie to reveal any shortcomings in her mother's care. The pressure was palpable, but Gracie couldn't find her voice amidst the turmoil. As the custody battle unfolded, it became increasingly clear to Gracie that it wasn't about her well-being, but rather a competition for victory. Her father aimed to win over her mother, and Charlotte reciprocated with the same goal in mind. In the courtroom, the lawyers presented their respective cases. Charlotte's lawyer, Mr. Rothstein, argued that she should have primary custody because she had been the more present figure in Gracie's life. Noah's lawyer, Mr. Schmidt, countered, highlighting Charlotte's focus on her career at the expense of her maternal responsibilities. The courtroom drama only escalated as the battle continued. One day, during a particularly heated exchange in the courtroom, Judge Miller decided to take a different approach. Rather than relying solely on legal arguments, the judge wanted to hear Gracie's perspective. "Could Gracie come closer?" Judge Miller asked, and both parents nodded for their daughter to approach the bench. In front of the judge, Gracie was asked if she understood the situation. Her answer was simple but profound. "You are divorcing my parents," she replied. It was a straightforward acknowledgement of the circumstances. However, Judge Miller went further, explaining that they were trying to determine where Gracie should live. For the first time, Gracie realized she had a say in the matter. She looked at her mother, who smiled, and then at her father, who also grinned. Both had recently become extra attentive to her, offering trips to the zoo, the movies, and lavish vacations. Her father had even gifted her a motorized toy BMW, and her mother promised a trip to Disney World. But when the judge asked Gracie to make her choice, her decision was unexpected. Gracie pointed not to her mother or father, but to someone else in the courtroom. That someone was her grandmother, Lucinda. Lucinda had been a constant presence in Gracie's life, especially when her parents were busy with their careers. Initially, Charlotte had returned to work, and Lucinda had offered to take care of Gracie instead of hiring a nanny. As time passed, Gracie spent more and more time at her grandmother's house, and it was there that she found comfort and stability. Judge Miller inquired if Lucinda was willing and able to care for her granddaughter, and Lucinda readily confirmed her commitment. She highlighted the sacrifices she had made to raise Gracie, addressing the child's chicken pox, teaching her right from wrong when she acted out in school, and providing her with a safe haven during her parents' tumultuous relationship. The judge then turned the spotlight on Gracie's parents, revealing their shortcomings. Noah was unable to provide a satisfactory answer to the simple question of how many diapers he had changed, and Charlotte had no connection with her daughter's teachers at school. The truth was evident. Gracie had found her sanctuary in her grandmother's care. With the courtroom resonating with the stark reality of their neglect, Judge Miller made the final decision. Gracie would live with her grandmother, Lucinda Richards, with supervised visitation rights for her parents. No objections were raised. With the custody matter resolved, the divorce proceedings were temporarily adjourned. As Gracie and Lucinda left the courtroom, the emotional toll on Charlotte was evident as she quietly wept, while Noah had a stern conversation with his attorney. Gracie, however, was oblivious to their concerns, content in the knowledge that she would be with the person who truly cared for her. Surprisingly, in the aftermath of the courtroom drama, Charlotte and Noah made a different choice. They decided to reconcile and focused on improving their relationship. They cut back their work hours and prioritized spending quality time with Gracie. Several months later, she moved back in with her parents, who were dedicated to building a stronger and healthier family. Their efforts paid off when Charlotte and Noah renewed their vows and welcomed a new addition to their family. Gracie embraced her role as a big sister, and Lucinda continued to play a supportive role in her grandchildren's lives. However, the primary responsibility for raising the children now rested with their parents, who had learned the importance of putting their family first. It was a transformation that had been a long time coming, and it finally allowed Gracie to experience the loving, nurturing family she deserved from the start.